Hello and a very warm welcome to today's video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the world of AI and how AI can actually transform the way that your business operates and how you can utilize it to make sure that you can get the best possible way of either winning more work or being more productive. Let's take a look. Hello, my name is Patrick. I am a chartered accountant, a certified UK trainer with fancy new logo, that QuickBooks Chap on the internet, head of account here at Boffix, and your friendly podcast who goes live each and every Monday morning for Ask the Accountant. Now, in today's video, going to keep it straightforward. We're going to have a look at some AI tools that we're using in our practice, but any business out there can use, and to try and figure out ways in which we can see A, where AI is going, but B, how AI can help you now. So, without further ado, let's go straight into it. I'm going to tell you my first one. So my first one is if I was to go to Google and just do search Google Studio. Now, Google AI Studio is brand new in terms of kind of giving you an insight of what it is. The idea of Google AI Studio is an opportunity for you to build what is called an agent and try and get it to start kind of doing things for you and your practice or you and your business. But what I've been using it for more than anything else is starting to look into it from a training point of view. So what I'm going to do is over here, I'm going to sign into my QuickBooks account. Now, the secret is in the top left-hand corner of this screen, you actually have the opportunity to stream real time and share your screen. And the idea is not only will you have the opportunity to talk back and forward with the AI, in this case, Google Gemini, but also you can have the opportunity to go and share your screen so that it can give contextual results. And it works really, really well. So I'm going to go and share my screen and start with, hey, Google, what can you see?
The stream shows a screen from QuickBooks, which is an accounting software. What specific information from the screen are you interested in?
I'm looking to send a new invoice. Can you show me how to do that, please?
In the top left corner, you'll see a plus new button. If you click that button, you should see an invoice option under the customer column. Does that match what you see on your screen?
Yeah, that's perfect. What sort of invoice date should I put and when should I make my due date?
Okay, it looks like you've created a new invoice. What would you like to do next? Perhaps adding products or services to the invoice, or setting up the payment options?
Which invoice date and due date should I use?
The invoice date is the date you are creating the invoice. The due date is the date by which you expect payment from your customer. You can choose these dates based on your business policies and payment terms. Do you have specific terms for this customer?
I do actually. I've got 60-day. Should I change it here?
Yes, you can change the terms to net 60 inches if that's what you agreed with the client. If you select net 60 inches, the due date will automatically change to reflect 60 days from the invoice date.
So that's using Google Studio to really just give you a sense of what it will be like in a training environment, right? Or at least trying to learn a software for the very first time. I was using QuickBooks then, I was just asking questions back and forth. But it actually works really well for a piece of software you've never seen before. And the difference between just kind of asking is the fact that it's actually looking at your screen as well. And you can point to things and say, what does this mean? Or, you know, what would you recommend for this? And that sort of conversational that goes forward. And I think from a training point of view, or you guys wanting to use something for the very first time, it's going to absolutely give you a game changer. Another use case I've got for AI is about recording meetings. So I went through a policy in 2024 where every single meeting I had with permission, I have been able to have a recording of so that I can get a update of it whenever I need to. And it works really well. So if I go to, I'm using Copilot, but it depends on which other ones you want. And I can just say, recap my last meeting. Now, if I knew what the meeting was or anything like that, I could then go and find that particular meeting. So using the AI here gives me an opportunity to prompt. Now, I wouldn't actually use this to go back to it. What I'd actually do to make it much more easier for myself is we now have a policy where we copy this information, put it in our CRM solution, so that I can go to any customer and every client, and I can go into history and I can see what conversations I've had, what meetings we've had, and it works really, really well. Here it's telling me that me and the client discussed performance of their eBay sales. We talked about challenges and benefits of using different selling platforms. We talked about recording shareholder deposit in QuickBooks and how that would make it easier for them. And we've also talked about that there's a detailed discussion on reconciling bank accounts to get them through from there. And then finally, we mentioned that we were considering stock levels and fixed assets for a year end that was there. So really simple reminders, but that's what it's designed for, right? It's reminding us of what that conversation was. So if I ever go back to this straight away, I'm 100% up to date with what my last meeting was. And now if I've got a meeting with that client going forward, I would use this as a basis for me when I'm preparing that meeting with the client to know where we were, what we were, and see if there's anything I need to come back to, or just from a CRM point of view for just wowing the client sort of thing. You then have the opportunity to recall something that you spoke about them, so they feel like they are being listened to, and it really does help. So we record every single meeting. We're using Microsoft Teams and we're using Copilot, but every platform out there now gives you an opportunity to record and bring that information, and it's so powerful. But we're going down the route of making sure that everything we do, we have some sort of procedure notes to go with it, so that in theory, anyone can continue to do whatever role we've got or whatever task we need to do, because we've got some detailed notes to do it. Now, detailed process notes are really difficult to start off with. But with Copilot or whatever AI solution you're using, you can help prompt that from the beginning. So what's this? Please help me create a process note for sending a refund to a client. And what it's going to do is straight away just start building all of this into play. Now, it may not be that this is going to be absolutely spot on from day one and in most cases, it's never going to be that, right? But it's a perfect starting point. And what I would challenge you to do is use the editing pages in this one so I can go through and run this process note 3 times. Go through it as you following this step by step. And what you're going to do as you go through is you're going to amend things, right? Put things in here, change that. You're going to bring it through. But at least then you've already got the basis set out for you. And then what you need to do is A, make sure that it's correct, and B, refine it for what it is you need to do. But the fact that this is making that starting point for you saves you so much more time, right? If I had to write this all down from scratch, I'll be having to do each of these elements to it. And I'd forget to do X, Y, Z because it's second nature to me, right? And I'm always doing it that way. But putting it do from there. Now, if you're even just a one-man band, highly recommend looking into doing these process notes anyway, for 2 reasons. Number one, if you ever do take on someone and you suddenly get to that point where you're starting to, take to that next step and bring on your new employee or your new subcontractor, you're already going to have those notes ready and raring to go. So it's going to make your life easier to put them in and off to the races you go. Second bit, though, is the fact that if you can put information in here, then when you start networking and start kind of bringing more people into the throw, you're going to be able to have an opportunity to have someone actually review that information with you. And one of the strongest things I've ever learned in business is never try and do it alone. There's always someone going through a similar pain point as you, right? So using a bit of networking or however you're going to do it, find people who are in the same issue that you are. And then what you can do is you can then start utilizing the opportunity to go in and challenge issues or ask questions. And if you guys can compare your process notes, you're going to spot straight away that, I do this bit this way, or I do this that way. And at least if you've got some tangible element to show them what those process notes, you're going to be able to put that forward and discuss them and hopefully enhance and innovate and move them forward going forward. And I promise you, when I started doing this, instead of just kind of talking about it and trying to explain it all, just sit down, compare those notes. Straight away, you're going to find that one business is going to do it this way, one business can do it, maybe both of them the most efficient way as possible. Or you're going to find that actually that's how your business should be doing it, and you'll be able to pick and choose from there. It's a great way to just get your processes absolutely nailed, and using AI can help speed that process up, because the idea for you is to make sure that you can have as many of your processes actually written down and put into pen and paper, because that way you're going to be able to make sure you can refine them going forward. And my final one that I think every business should be looking at is for content creation. So we use a solution called Opus Clips, but there's loads of solutions out there that does this. And the idea is we basically feel like we have nailed this long form content. And I think realistically, if you ask most business owners, long form content's actually the simplest form of content to make. And I challenge you, I think it doesn't matter what type of business you are, you're an expert in that particular business field. You see, if you put me in front of a camera and ask me to talk about QuickBooks, I could do 24 hours straight if I need to, right? But that's not going to help me in short form content. I may be able to use that piece of content and put it as a long form content. And you know what? It might do pretty well. It might have certain people who are really passionate and interested in QuickBooks sitting down and listening to that full long form piece of content. What would do far better if I use that content, repurposed it as multiple short form elements, getting those best bits out there. And that's what this software does for you. Now, I'm not saying this should replace doing all this completely, but what this will do is give you an understanding of what works, what doesn't work, what you should be concentrating on, and it will give you an opportunity to test the waters. So let me show you what it is. So here's some elements that we've used recently. You can see here that on Ask the Accountant, we did this amazing podcast pit stuff. Now, the idea is that I've uploaded that long form content, which I believe is about 20 minutes long. And I've asked this software to go and pick out for me short form content. And what it does is it reframes the camera so it's short form friendly, so that's going to be one really nice bit for it. And it even gives me scores. So realistically, we want to be looking at the highest scores here. Now, why is it giving this particular one a score of this? The hook was A. The hook effectively poses intriguing questions. The flow was nice. The value was there. And, you know, maybe it wasn't as trendy, or it didn't hit trends that are sat there at this point in time, but at least it's been able to bring that element into you. And this works really well. Another thing about this is you can actually edit the clip directly from here. If you're not really au fait on editing software, it's really straightforward. And even add a bit of B-roll to it as well. So for us, we might want to put like an intro and outro to it. And to me, this changed the game for us for thinking about short form content a little bit more, understanding it more. You can post it directly and publish it directly from here if you want to, but it just gives you that opportunity to start thinking about it. And I promise you, long form content, really easy to get your head around what to do. Just set up a camera, set up a microphone, and start talking and start using your expertise into that camera, and it will create some content. But it's the short form content that's going to get the eyeballs on. It's going to build that brand recognition, going to build you that audience far quicker, because we're in a day and age where people want that short, snappy element. And using this AI will just start making you think about what it is that is doing well as short form and what isn't. And you can practice, and that's what we do. We now analyze what information's there, try and figure out what's best, try and figure out which one's coming through and which one isn't, and then we're able to reconvert it to short form content. And there we have it. There's our 3 tips for making sure that your business can make the most out of AI. Hopefully this has been useful for you. If you're loving this and you're thinking this is a great bit of value, then please make sure to use that like button, subscribe button. Make sure you give us a bit of engagement. That way we can continue making videos for you and your business. And hopefully, as Boffix motto is, your business will not just survive, but thrive. My name's been Patrick. Hopefully this video has been useful for you. Don't forget to use that comment section to let us know if there's anything we missed. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.